There are many options when selecting a financial planner, and we consider that process to be very critical and requires a lot of attention and careful consideration. Oftentimes, the process of selecting a financial planner is not given the adequate attention that it requires or enough consideration. So we think it's very important in undertaking that process to consider all of the options available and many of the aspects associated with making that decision. First and foremost, a client should be very comfortable with the financial planner that they're working with and feel that the process is very personalized and focused on their individual needs. There's no reason a client should never shy away from assuring that the attention is being given to their specific requirements and the unique needs that they have of the planner. Sometimes clients may be sold services or products that are more the focus of the planner or something that the planner is more comfortable with, and the specific needs or requirements of the client are not necessarily being addressed fully. And so it's very important to assure that it's the needs of the clients and the ultimate objectives of the clients that are being addressed and focused upon when a planner is providing solution options for a client. Like anything, I think that the potential for someone to handle their own comprehensive financial plan is difficult because there are so many arenas of expertise tied to a full comprehensive financial plan. For example, if you're preparing a tax return, there's the potential that someone could prepare their own tax return, but there's so many complications and rule changes and elements of that process that it gets more and more difficult as you have more involved with your tax return to assure that you're optimizing the ultimate result of your tax preparation. Similarly, with financial planning, there are so many elements and components to a comprehensive plan and so many specifics to consider that without someone with the expertise, the experience, and the background helping to guide you through that process, it can be difficult, and it's harder to optimize the ultimate outcome of a final plan without some guidance along the way. Another very critical element with the planner selection process is understanding what the costs are that are associated with the services and the products that the client are ultimately utilizing. It's very important to understand how the costs are structured, how the payments to the financial planner or investment advisor are being made, and what the total cost of the services or the products are going to be. The fee and costs associated with investment services and planning can be confusing and not always obvious and clear. So there should be no uncertainty as to exactly how those costs are structured, and the process of understanding those fees and those costs should always be fully transparent so that there's no questions or uncertainties as the process goes on. Seeking out a financial planner requires understanding what the strengths of the planner are, what their background and experience is, and what different types of services they can offer or provide to the client individually. Planners will oftentimes focus on particular areas. Investments, obviously, what might be an area of expertise for a planner. Insurance or estate planning could be a component, or addressing tax issues and tax implications related to a financial plan. So to some degree, it's important that clients consider planners who are able to either offer a full broad range of advice in those areas of planning issues, or at least are able to incorporate other professionals that can bring that expertise into the equation along with the planner themselves, so that all of the needs of the clients are being addressed. But ultimately, it's critical to assure that the broad range of requirements that a client may have with respect to their plan are being addressed, and that there's a level of expertise that can handle all of the issues that they're addressing with their overall financial plan. It's very important when engaging a financial planner to agree upfront, in effect, what the expectations are, what the ultimate goals and objectives are of the plan, so you have something to measure its success upon as you proceed down the road. So for example, you lay out your objectives and your goals, and the planner should be focused on those objectives and goals and build a plan around them with the intent on meeting those goals and objectives at different time horizons into the future. So together, the planner and the client should be getting together and following up on those initial expectations and objectives and assess and measure whether they've been met and what the actual results have been. It is critical with uncertainties in economies and markets to consistently review and monitor a plan and to assess whether it's meeting the objectives, the original set of objectives, and sometimes whether it needs to be modified or altered a bit to stay on course. It's important to have expectations clearly laid out up front and to assure that ongoing you're monitoring those expectations and assessing how well the plan is performing. Our background as CPAs and tax planners and tax preparers helps us to assure that we are considering the tax implications of the overall investment and financial plan that we're putting together for a client. So that when we're considering investment allocations or retirement or college planning or estate plans, we are incorporating into that analysis the tax implications that might be associated with those plans and the decisions that we're making within each component of those plans. Because it's very important to assure that the full spectrum of issues are being addressed when we're pulling the plan together for a client. And if tax implications are not considered, there could be some negative repercussions to a plan that did not take into consideration the tax implications. So by bringing to the table the expertise in the tax area, it helps us to assure that the full picture is being considered when we're really taking a look at all of the components of a client's financial planning requirements.